Angelo,
Kevin, what's up?
I don't know if you heard, but another theme park is coming to Orlando.
Oh my god, is it Hollywood Studios 2?
No, it's Universal's Epic Universe.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to the Of Mouse and Men podcast. As always, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Angelo.
And today, guys, we're talking about the fourth park to come to the Orlando Universal Studios Resort, and that's
Wait,
Epic
you mean
Universe.
the third park?
No, the fourth park, Angelo. They have Volcano Bay.
Oh, I didn't know we were counting Volcano Bay as
It's a
as
water
park.
theme park.
That's
They,
you know what?
They got
Fair
us
enough,
on a
fair enough.
technicality, but it's in there, okay? It's in there.
Wait, so then would you say that Disney World has 6 parks?
No, because they do. They have, if you include the water parks, but Universal stresses that it's a water theme park. That's like the whole
Okay,
pitch of Volcano
fair
Bay.
enough. We're talking about Epic Universe today. Our thoughts, what we think will happen, all the individual lands. We're talking Nintendo. We're talking Harry Potter. We got a lot to talk about this episode, guys.
Yes. Angelo is speaking truths. And so basically keep in mind, Universal, other than this beautiful concept art that they released, Universal has not announced or really released anything else about the park. But we have speculation. There's been people debating, kind of trying to figure out what's at the park. And recently they started construction at the park. So we got these construction plans, and they've given more in-depth looks at what these individual lands will look like. So we can now speculate a little bit more. Not 100% confirmed, but we can speculate what's going to be at this park.
Yeah, and it should be a cool thing to speculate. Is there anything else before we get started?
Nah, let's get into it, bro. Let's go. Let's
dive
dive into
right
it.
in. Let's jump right in without
So-
further ado.
Yeah, so what's the pitch of this park, Angelo? I like to imagine that some guy went to the Universal execs and he was like, portals.
Let's make Islands of Adventure 2.
Yes, exactly. Islands of Adventure 2.0. But he was like, portals. That's the theme of this land. Portals. There's portals everywhere. Portals into different worlds. Portals. It's just portals. And so it's portals, guys, to different worlds. That's the idea of this park, which I think is a good idea. But it's basically Islands of Adventure 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the idea. It gives you a lot of freedom to just do, like, throw in whatever properties, right?
Yes, and I think based on the concept art, to me, this looks like the setup of Magic Kingdom mixed with like the beauty of Epcot meets the immersive lands of Hollywood Studios. At least that's what it kind of comes to me. That's like the vision of I'm sure that's what they pitched it as to Universal. And all the execs at Universal are like, yes. Like, we just mash all these parks to one. And I have to say, as like a broad overview, I think the idea of the park is great. I like this idea of portals, and to go into each land, there's a portal you go through. I think that's all like really cool stuff. It's a great idea. I think the park, based on the concept art, looks beautiful. I mean,
I even just love that we're getting another park in Orlando.
Right?
How long has it been since, Animal Kingdom was the last one, maybe?
Yes. Volcano Bay, if you count that. But
Oh, yeah.
But I'm so excited to actually have a park with like completely new rides. I haven't done anything in it. Like, it's just like everything you do at that park will be brand new. I'm just so excited for that.
No, yeah, totally. So, yeah, I think so. I guess we'll start with just the entrance and then the hub area, which I think is actually extremely interesting, even though it might not seem that way. Because we have like the lakes in the center, which is pretty standard, especially for like Islands of Adventure has that.
Yeah.
But I think what's really the most interesting part is that instead of like a like spoke like Magic Kingdom is, where it's all them branching out from one place, it's kind of like this middle whole area is this like neutral space. It looks like there's like restaurants and maybe there's like fountains and like activities to do there that like aren't associated with a theme or a pre-existing land. And I think that's really cool and that's really interesting, especially because it seems like we don't get much of that anymore. I also just love the design, and it's a huge like hub, like a huge hub area.
And I think that's what the hub here, unlike like your central plaza in Magic Kingdom, this hub is long. It's a long hub. You have 3 bodies of water that make it up, and we don't know much about the hub, right? But when we can tell,
the least we know.
Yes, and what we can tell by it is that similar to Animal Kingdom, where they have rivers of light for the nighttime show, there seems to be this seating area around the main fountain, which I think is really cool because it looks like there's going to be an amazing nighttime show. And there's fireworks in the concept. So the fireworks are supposed to, rumor has it, come from behind the hotel, which is also really cool. So
we should mention that the hotel is kind of like the main like attraction here. When you walk into the park, it's kind of straight ahead, and it looks like it's connected directly to the park there, closer walking distance than I think we've really seen any other hotel park
I think
combo.
That's really going to be one of the selling points of this park is that the hotel is right at the park, so you can look from your hotel room into this park. That's really cool.
I think that's so cool.
But the only thing is, I feel like I don't want the hotel to kind of overshadow the park, if you know what I'm saying, Angelo. Like, because it seems like it's at the center. Like, this is like almost like your Cinderella's castle of this park, but it's a hotel.
Right.
I don't know. To me, that feels a little weird. That like the hotel is kind of, it's not the centerpiece. I think this fountain is probably the centerpiece. But it definitely is the thing drawing your eye.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I think like Universal doesn't really have anything that they could really use for a centerpiece, right?
I mean, that's true. They do have the globe, but that's outside the park.
Right. So I think like even if you look at the Universal Studios park, I don't really think there's a centerpiece there.
Yeah, but I mean,
Islands of Adventure,
Islands of Adventure kind of has the Jurassic Park stuff to kind of center it, but you're right. There's no like they don't have like a big centerpiece. So that's clearly not a concern of theirs.
I kind of like how integrated the hotel is here.
I agree. I think the hotel, I think that's a great element that I could stay at the hotel and then walk into the park right from my hotel.
Right.
And so another thing about this hub is it seems like speculation that the hub is going to involve the elements. And that's going to be a factor into the hub. So if you look at the beginning of the hub, there's like this water, there's the fountains like water feature. And apparently that's going to be water. There's a barbecue restaurant or like this fire restaurant off in the corner that's supposed to be fire. And they're speculating it's going to be a barbecue restaurant. And then there's like supposed to be this whole wind area. So I think that's kind of interesting that you have the elements there. I don't know what purpose it serves as like the portal theme, but I think it is interesting.
Yeah, it seems like the overall theme is kind of like this, like the whole universe, and it's tied together by elements, and here's these worlds, and so it seems interesting.
I agree. There's also a space. So we have 2 attractions we know that are going to be in the hub. One of them we don't really know about at all. It's hard to speculate. I don't know. Some people are saying it's going to be a carousel, but like, I don't know. But the coaster, the thing we do know is this dueling coaster that's going to be space themed. And basically it's going to be somewhat like Dueling Dragons and the Dragon Challenge over at Harry Potter. And then it's going to be 2 coasters dueling, and it's supposed to be space themed.
I think that's super cool, especially just getting a non-themed ride, like a not IP-based ride, I mean.
I wonder how they're going to do it, because if you look in the concept art, what is the dueling coaster kind of goes into like the trees and stuff, and is that space? I don't know how they're going to do it, but it seems interesting to me.
I don't know. Excuse me. It looks cool though. We'll see. But yeah. That's pretty much. Is there anything else about the hub we want to talk about before we get into each individual?
Not much about the hub. I think the hub is one of my favorite parts of the land because it just
honestly same.
Aesthetically, it looks beautiful. This is the part that's like the beauty of Epcot. Like it reminds me of like just this like beauty. It's just great.
To be honest, I think theme park hubs. This is what they need. I think even in the Disney parks, like it's like Magic Kingdom is a spoke in Cinderella's castle. Like that's classic, right? Then you got like Hollywood Studios, kind of like the Chinese theater, right? But
Yeah.
and that's great. But it's always like this like one centerpiece, and this looks like this huge long place with tons of areas and tons of like things to do, and I think that's super unique.
That's the thing too, because this is a big hub because all of the lands come off this hub. So like if you look at like Magic Kingdom, for example, like Tomorrowland connects into Fantasyland, which connects into all like the lands don't
These
connect.
lands don't connect.
The lands connect at the hub, which I think is just really interesting. It's actually something I don't think we've seen that really at a park, at least if you look at like Disney and Orlando and stuff, that it's like
Or
the
they're
hub
so
is
separated
huge.
like that.
Because it's usually there's like an outer circle that'll connect all the lands, but here it's all connected by this hub.
I wonder how that's gonna work with like traffic flow in terms of like
Right?
people. I mean, I'm sure they have like designers who
'Cause-
like, can like do that stuff, but that's super interesting.
That's one of the
if you
things.
consider.
That's one of the things with the rumor that it might be like, not the land might be. You told me before that you might have to pay for an attraction, right? Like you can just walk into the land.
I think there was a rumor that the hub, like, you wouldn't need to have like a park ticket to be in the hub or something like that, and you'd need it to like go on attractions or get into lands. But I'm not sure if that's true. That's just something I heard a while ago. So
Okay, so that I think if you're worrying about capacity right there, I think that would be a problem. If that was an idea, there would be an issue there.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends how it's all designed in the end, right? But
Yeah.
yeah. The only other thing we forgot to mention is it's supposed to come out 2024 as of right
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah.
So we're still a ways off, but
Yeah, so it was originally 2023, but because of the whole coronavirus situation, they had to halt construction and everything, that it will now be 2024. It could still get postponed even more. We don't know, but we're looking at a 2024 date of opening.
right.
So,
All right, Kevin. Do we want to jump into the world, the universes of the Epic
lands.
Universe?
Yeah, let's jump into each universe, each land. And I gotta say, I think the lands are the weakest part for me.
Really?
I think the lands are just unfortunate. I don't, with the exception
I kind
of
of
one.
agree.
With the exception of one, which we'll talk about, I think all the other lands, for the exception of Super Nintendo World, the other lands I think are not only weak, but they're like I don't want to say they're unfortunate. They're just not good.
So my thing is, right, I do think, so we'll just say, so it's Super Nintendo World is one of the lands. Then we got How to Train Your Dragon
Yes.
area.
Yep.
Then we have a Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them area.
Yes.
And then a kind of, the one we know the least about is like this monsters kind of like
Universal Classic Monsters, yeah.
Universal Classic Monsters area. But I do think, so I think Nintendo is great and makes sense, and people have been wanting that for a while. But I do think the other lands, I think it does kind of depend how they execute it, because at the same time I do think like these properties don't necessarily lend themselves to like amazing lands. I do think it's more about what the land can do. For example, like Avatar, like a lot of people don't care about the movie Avatar anymore, but Pandora is amazing and has an amazing ride and is like people love it.
That's true.
And like I would bet that like even like more classic like Disneylands like aren't based on anything. So like to some people maybe the How to Train Your Dragon land is just like this medieval mystical land, you know? So I think it does depend how they execute them.
I
But
agree.
I do think the IPs themselves, other than Nintendo, are kind of weak.
I agree with you. It's about execution. But for me, we'll talk about it with each land. I think no matter how they execute it, I think there's other ways you could have picked lands. There's other IPs you could have done for the lands that would have been better. But let's get into Super Nintendo World, because this, Angelo, honestly, I think Super Nintendo World could be the peak of Universal theme parks. It could be like better than Harry Potter, like the best thing they've done, and they may never do anything as good as it again. Like it's gonna be the peak of Universal theme parks.
I agree.
To me,
but I
honestly,
think it could go very wrong, and we'll talk about that. But let's just start. So let's go into it.
So yeah, so there's gonna be three attractions. Get excited, guys, for this park.
And it is kind of two like mini lands. We should mention.
I agree. Yes, it's two mini lands.
There's the first part that's very like Nintendo, and you got like Bowser's Castle, and you got like Yoshi's and everything like that, right?
Yep.
And then there's the second area, which is the jungle, and it's Donkey Kong, and there's the mine carts and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So it is kind of like two lands, even though it is just like pitched as like Nintendo Land, right?
Mm-hmm. So if we're looking at the rides, let's start with Yoshi's ride. So there's going to be a Mario Omnimover ride that's going to be Yoshi, and it's speculated that you're going to be riding in Yoshi in a traditional Omnimover setup, similar to how they do Haunted Mansion, how they do Under the Sea with the Little Mermaid over at Magic Kingdom, kind of that setup. And we'll be going through different lands in Mario, and that's obviously the more family-friendly, everyone can go on this ride that they're going to have at Nintendo World.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
And I think this one looks, the idea to me is really cute. I like this idea that there's going to be like an extremely family-friendly ride that little kids can go on. Because I think a lot of times Universal doesn't have those at their parks. Like they have like Dr. Seuss the Cat in the Hat ride, but they're traditionally more like adult rides at Universal because compared to Disney. So I like that in this land they're focusing on a ride that's aimed to families.
Yeah, that's the Yoshi ride, but so that's fun. And then I think we should get into the premier attraction here.
Which are you talking about the Mario Kart ride?
Yes, Mario Kart.
This ride should be amazing. So it's speculated. So I guess you're gonna have. What is being speculated is you're going to have a headset on. So there's going to be like goggles on you and it's almost like VR, but there's some things that it's a real set.
Yeah, there's many conflicting like what exactly is it going to be. So there's some places that I'm reading that say like it's going to be like physical, everything's like physical except for like backgrounds and stuff. But as you said, other people are talking about like wearing a headset or it being like AR or VR or something like that. And I also saw a thing that it could be like 2 tracks, almost like Radiator Springs, where you're racing another car.
Mm-hmm. I think that's something that's interesting too, because what I think it's going to be like is I think it's going to be a mix between an augmented reality and real, something that's real. So I think the headset is going to be almost like adding stuff to so there's going to be real sets, but I think certain things that are going to be that make it almost like a video, like certain, like if you get like the mystery pack, like I'm sure they're going to do stuff like that are the more video game elements will be in your headset, so it's a more individual experience for those things, but the main like sets will be real is what I think.
Yeah, so yeah,
if that made any sense of what I was saying.
It does. So there are patents and stuff for these augmented reality glasses. So I do think like the main stuff will be real. I don't think they'll like cheap out on screens too much with this. Not that it's cheaping out, but like I'm assuming people want like real sets on these.
Yeah.
But I think there will be like, just to put that like make it super immersive, like you're gonna kind of need something. But it is interesting that it's AR glasses instead of just screens. Maybe that's like how they get like Nintendo characters to appear during it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the glasses are going to be dictating your individual experience, and then the real sets are going to be what's there for everybody, is kind of what I think. So similar to, because there's kind of reports of maybe you're going to be able to steer it yourself, and it'll be you actually living the ride, similar to Smuggler's Run, right? And if they do it like that, I think those glasses are going to be what is making the individual experience for you. But we don't know. But I played Mario Kart as a kid. I was a real Mario Karter in my day. So I'm very excited.
I think the most interesting part of this ride is how/if it will be interactive.
Right?
Excuse me.
Right? I agree fully.
I think that can honestly make it or break it, especially in a property based on a video game. I think it kind of makes sense, especially being Mario Kart. Like, I'm not sure how exactly you would do it, but there's stuff people are saying like, oh, have it be like you get like a red shell and then you can like use it or throw it, and then like you can make the other cart slow down and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how exactly that would all work in like a ride like this.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that's why the glasses, whatever they're doing with the glasses, I think is going to be not eye-opening, but it's going to really tell us what this ride is.
And you can't, so it's not like you're driving the ride either.
Right. But we don't know.
We don't know,
we
but
assume,
I'm pretty sure
we assume
right
you
now
can't
it's
actually be
supposed to
steering
on a track.
Yes, it's going to be on a track, but we assume you can't steer it. I have a feeling they're going to have like those mystery, like you know what I'm talking about, like the mystery cubes.
Mystery boxes.
And I think you'll, maybe on your screen, when you go through a mystery box, you get your own thing, depending on what your glasses say. I don't know. We'll see.
No, that would be cool. I think it'll be very interesting. I think this is definitely their flag. I mean, it is their flagship ride, but I think this can be like something really special if they pull it off.
And just talking about the land itself, it's just so cool. Like you're clearly in the Mario world. Like everything is like brick, like squarely shaped. It's just it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be just the theming of the land, because it's just going to be so immersive, I think.
Yeah, and then going into, we have the Donkey Kong part.
Yes.
It looks like their main thing will be this, what's it called? This minecart ride?
Yes, it's going to be like a coaster in a minecart. But what's interesting about this ride is that you're going to be, they released a patent. They did a patent for basically you're going to be on a stick, like your cart's on a stick that's connected to a track, so they can move you up and down while keeping the cart on a track not moving. If that makes any sense by my explanation, you can look at the patent, but it's basically so like you can literally jump to another track that you're perceiving, because the actual track will be below you and you're connected to a lower track. Like,
yeah, and that's obviously if you've ever like played Donkey Kong or even watched it, like the minecarts jump tracks, or like they do like crazy stuff, and that's how they would get those effects, I assume.
So I think that's gonna be insane. I think it's gonna be like it's gonna be like Indiana Jones and Dinosaur, like that ride system taken up a notch, where you're literally gonna be flying like to other tracks in the air. The track might end and you'll like plummet off the track. Like, whoa. That's going to be insane.
I really like the design of the Donkey Kong area too, how you can see like the minecart tracks from different like locations in the park.
Yes, I think the whole like it's like a monkey temple too. I think it's very like aesthetically pleasing. It reminds me of like Adventureland, but clearly it's like Donkey Kong themed.
It's like cartoonish Adventureland.
And honestly, this is what we're missing from Adventureland, Angelo. Like a coaster like this.
a good ride? Other than Jungle Cruise.
Other than Jungle Cruise. But yeah, we're missing the thrill element of adventure. It's Adventureland. But anyway, this I think is going to be really, really
Make
cool.
the volcano roller coaster, Disney.
I'm fully for that. But will they? We'll see.
So, Kevin, I think that this is the time where we talk about the thing that's missing from Nintendo Land.
Okay, you go off, Angelo.
Where is Pokemon?
I don't know, Angelo. There is a rumor, take this with a grain of salt, that they're going to put Pokemon in another one of their parks, like Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios.
Kevin. Where is Pokemon? I think it's a huge missed opportunity that they have not already. If they have the rights to all Nintendo stuff, which I assume they do, I assume Pokemon is going to fall under that. Where is the Pokemon?
I don't know, Angelo. Ask them.
You know where the Pokemon is?
Dude.
Kevin, where is he?
I don't know. Maybe to your right.
You know what I saw somebody say on another podcast actually about Epic Universe?
Oh, cool.
They said I forget the name. I wish I remember the podcast. But they said we need Charmander's Flame Grill Barbecue, dude. And where is it?
So there was speculation.
Pokemon?
There was early speculation. What I said was the barbecue restaurant in the hub was supposed to be like Charmander's Barbecue. That didn't really go anywhere. But this guy's bringing out props for the podcast. But listen.
No, listen. So
if you're listening, he brought out a Charmander plush.
Pokemon. There's so
You're
much
right.
you can do with Pokemon.
I think that they're waiting. I think there'll be an expansion with Pokemon. I honestly do. I think they're doing something with Pokemon, but they're doing Mario first.
I think they're waiting until I'm hired so I can design the Pokemon park because I already have so many ideas, Kevin.
I think Pokemon's a good IP for a theme park. They'll get to it, Angelo. They'll get to it.
Do you want to know how? Do you want to know real quick the sentence pitch for the Pokemon part?
Yes, pitch it to me. Go.
Okay, ready?
I'm a Universal exec. Go.
Okay. Everyone's wearing AR glasses the whole time. There are Pokemon everywhere. It's Pokemon Go. $1 million.
I'm not a fan of that.
$1 billion.
Everyone's wearing glasses the entire time.
Well, you don't have to wear glasses, but you can. It's like the Poke Viewer, and you can see, and the Pokemon are hanging out everywhere. And if you want, you can go on your Pokemon Go app, but it's not totally connected to Pokemon Go. That's just like an option.
Agree that they should do something
Pokemon
connecting.
Are dancing around.
I agree that they should do something connecting Pokemon Go into their Pokemon themed land. I don't think you should do VR glasses, but I think you should connect Pokemon Go into it.
And then the main attraction there's a show, and the show is just a battle. It's just a Pokemon battle between I don't know how they do it. Okay, see, we need a lot of AR.
I think that the show is a good show. You could do robotic animatronics, and I think
I don't know if
put
you
a
do
bunch
animatronics.
Yes, you can. Why can't you?
I don't think you'd be able to do the level of. I think maybe in a ride, but not a show.
Have you seen? I don't know if you've seen this. The Secret Life of Pets ride that they're doing in Hollywood. They released some images for it, and look it up. Look at these animatronics. We'll put it in. Angelo, these animatronics look lifelike. Like, it's insane. Like, Universal has never put something like this out.
Secret Life of Pets animatronics. Is that what I'm looking?
Look up
those look pretty good. I wouldn't say they're like oh wait, is that an animatronic? That's actually really good.
Like, it's impressive, these animatronics that they've put in.
Okay, so make a Pokemon ride with the same animatronics.
Right? I think they could do it. Honestly, seeing what they did with Secret Life Pets, I think they could do it with Pokemon.
But easy. I think you need some kind of AR thing with Pokemon running around the land. Like, you're in a Pokemon journey. I think they need to sell replica Pokeballs. I think you need to, like, get your gym badges. I think it needs to be a legit Pokemon thing,
I think you could do something similar to Galaxy's Edge, where you can make your own identity and, like, earn badges throughout the land. Like, that's cool. Yeah, I think they'll be able to do realistic Pokemon with, like, this level of animatronic, because these look real, Angelo.
Yeah, I mean, we can hope. We'll see.
Yeah, right?
We will see. There's always ideas of Pokemon parks floating around.
Mm-hmm. So in this Nintendo World looks amazing. It's going to be the highlight. I think everyone's going to go to this because the other lands aren't that appealing. So let's go clockwise around, and we're going to go now to Villains. Universal's Epic. It is Epic. Classic Monsters. This one we don't know that much about, but we do know that there is a possible show that they're going to do, and we don't know what it's going to be, but there's an area that's going to have a show. We don't know what it's going to be. A lot of people... Yeah?
Or sorry, finish what you were going to say.
A lot of people think it... Well, not think, but want it to be something like the Graveyard Review, which had Beetlejuice in it, something like that. We don't know, though.
My camera keeps falling. We're good.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Just keep going.
Yeah, so the Graveyard... A lot of people want it to be something like the Graveyard Review with Beetlejuice, but we'll see what it is. But the main attraction of this land will be the Villains Monsters, the classic Monsters ride. that's going to have all of Universal's classic monsters in it. And rumor is it's going to use the same technology that Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey used, except that a rumor is that they're going to use the next step of this technology, which is basically a coaster. So you'll be able to not be on the same level, but they'll be able to raise you into rooms, and so you won't stay at a constant level.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the best ride systems is that Harry Potter ride.
And it's good because they could direct you towards show scenes too. And if it's a coaster, that's the excitement factor up there. That'd be nuts.
I just think it's interesting how big this stage looks, or this show in the main concept art.
Right. It looks like a huge stadium. When they did the construction plans, it's a much smaller than it looks in their concept art, so they may have shrunken it down, or they may just have used a generic stage for that. We don't know, but we can tell that it's smaller in the construction plans.
I almost thought at first that would be like a separate like thing, like just like, oh, here's for events, and not, like, connected to that land.
Because the Universal Monsters land will be themed towards, it's like a European village with Castle Frankenstein in the background, similar to how Hogwarts is at Hogsmeade. Harry Potter. Yeah. So,
obviously taking inspiration from Universal's Dark Universe.
The failed cinematic Dark Universe. Oh, poor The Mummy. That didn't do well.
Rest in peace. I didn't think The Mummy was that bad. It was bad.
I think they stopped it before they even like got their foot in the door to actually make it something. I think it was prematurely stopped. But
that's like if Marvel stopped after Iron Man 2. They're like, ooh.
But the Invisible Man was successful for them with the new one. That was pretty good. But yeah, so we don't know much about the classic monsters. So that's what we know. But I think honestly, this is kind of an interesting idea, bringing the classic monsters in. But I don't know how much of a draw the classic monsters are to it. So we'll see. I think it'd be cool if you introduced the Scooby-Doo characters into it, because you have them at Universal Studios. So I think it would be interesting.
Scooby-Doo land?
I think it'd be interesting if you incorporated them into it somehow. Like really, like I guess that would lose like the immersion of like Universal's classic monsters. But I think it's just getting something in there that's just gonna drive more people. Because the classic monsters, your Dark Universe failed. So it's like this isn't gonna draw that many people to it, even though I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I like the idea and I like the theming. Like, I think it should be good, but again, it's not like a super great. I mean, obviously, monsters, like everyone knows Frankenstein and stuff, but I don't know if anyone's going to a park because it has a Frankenstein ride. Right,
I agree. Unless that ride is really cool. If that ride can be really cool, I'm excited to see what they do with it. But let's move on from the classic monsters, and we're gonna go into the Wizarding World.
The Wizarding World, yeah.
The third Wizarding World. And there's a lot of speculation on what this will be. But most speculation is gone. This is going to be a Fantastic Beasts-themed Wizarding World.
Which would make sense, because I don't know if there's much... I think if you did another Harry Potter directed one, that might be a little too much. Mm-hmm. Also, obviously, Fantastic Beasts, they're still running with that franchise.
Yeah. But
so it makes sense.
If I'm being honest, I know Harry Potter is like your big thing, Universal. But I think we've run it into the ground a little bit. We've done two lands in your Orlando park. I think, and especially it's Fantastic Beasts. There's not really an audience for Fantastic Beasts. The second movie didn't do well. I think it's not, Fantastic Beasts isn't the draw that Harry Potter is. So I think the intention is there with another Wizarding World, but I think it's misguided. I don't know. How do you feel about Fantastic Beasts, Angelo? Because I think it's just, who's interested in going to Fantastic Beasts?
I mean, it'll get visited because it's it's linked to Harry Potter. And I mean, if the rides are cool, it looks like it'll be like Ministry of Magic type stuff.
Right. And that's the thing. So it's going to be the main area is going to be that like French in France. There was like this wizard carnival kind of thing. That's going to be what the main thing is. So,
oh, is that what their main thing is? Is that carnival?
and it's going to be indoor. So unlike the other two parks, this is going to be a mainly indoor experience. So
I think that's actually very interesting, and I think that could like honestly make it 10 times better.
I mean, I think the draw of this ride is the Fantastic Beasts. I think if you incorporate the Fantastic Beasts well in it, that'll be cool. But the Ministry of Magic is not interesting.
Do you think they'll incorporate where to find them?
We have to look for them. I'm sure, right? We have to find them.
It's like it's just Pokemon. This is the Pokemon land.
But there's one of the attractions it's thought to be like a Ministry of Magic ride where you're in the Ministry of Magic. Honestly, who cares? Like I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but like unless you're really into Harry Potter, I don't see how like going into
even if you're really into. I know people who are really into Harry Potter and aren't really into Fantastic Beasts and where to find them as much.
Right. I think putting a Fantastic Beasts attraction in one of your other Harry Potter lands is better than this. I think this is because I don't think this is going to be the draw they think it's going to be.
And I think it will be, but I think it's kind of like a little bit just using the IP a little too much.
Especially because it's mostly based on the second Fantastic Beasts movie, which didn't do very well.
But so we need 3 Wizarding World lands and 3 different parks.
I would rather they use this space to do something else because we've already gotten so much Harry Potter, and it doesn't seem like there's a good enough idea here to make it worth another Wizarding World.
I would agree.
Unless I think it would be. There's also a rumor that there's going to be an attraction similar to Men in Black. Now, this one I think is really interesting if they do this attraction, where you have the wands like the guns in Men in Black, where it's like actual sets, but you have wands and you have to catch the beasts.
And
that's
they have. I know they have RFID on like the wands they sell you. Mm-hmm. So I think like even like you can bring your own wand and you can use it. It would be like a super cool way to do that.
Right. The only thing is I don't know if they can have you use that one because if it falls out of your hand, it falls into whatever.
True.
I think they're gonna probably have ones that are attached to the vehicles just for safety and reasons like that. But I don't know.
True.
I think that ride is interesting to me. The Ministry of Magic one is not interesting to me. And there's supposed to be a show here too. I don't know what it's going to be. It might incorporate the beasts in some way. I think it's just, I would have rather this was an attraction at one of your existing Wizarding Worlds and you used some other IP here with this land. That's my take on that.
I mean, obviously it could be like an amazing ride or an amazing land that we think is like the greatest land ever, but we'll see.
So the next, are you done with it? Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah, I think
yeah. Let's go on to the How to Train Your Dragon land, which
I think this land's actually super interesting.
So I have an interesting take on this. I think the attractions that are at this land are going to be great, but I think it's a missed opportunity not to do like a whole DreamWorks thing. I think just focusing on How to Train Your Dragon is a mistake. I think you should be more DreamWorks properties. Like Trolls is very popular. You could do
the thing Panda.
Is, yeah.
The thing is, I feel like How to Train Your Dragon gives you a lot of liberty in that like Viking and like old like there's so much content there.
I agree with
and
you.
So much they could do.
But I don't know if Viking is the most aesthetically pleasing as if we had like Kung Fu Panda in there with the like Chinese structures. Like I think it's a missed opportunity to just focus on How to Train Your Dragon and not the DreamWorks characters as a whole.
I mean, that's a fair thought.
I think it would be cool if you had maybe get rid of the Wizarding World and you put another DreamWorks property in there, or just did a DreamWorks land. But let's talk about the attractions here because oh my gosh, are these attractions going to be cool?
Yeah, these are really cool.
We'll start off with the one that I think Angelo's going to like the most.
Yeah,
and this one
I honestly love... Yeah, I'll say... So, I love Possible Restaurant. I think that's my actually favorite attraction on this list. You know, I'm a big restaurant fan, a big sit-down fan, so I think that's a great opportunity.
I'm glad you're excited for the possible restaurant.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But what were you gonna say?
So there is a rumored attraction. So that's similar to Flight of Passage. And
Yes.
so DreamWorks has filed a patent for a ride system similar to Flight of Passage, but it's actually more similar to Manta in SeaWorld and Superman at Six Flags, where you sit in a seat and that seat puts you on your stomach. So it's like that. You'll get lifted into the air like Soarin' and like Pandora, and there's this giant dome that's a giant screen. So you get the feel of flying a dragon, but not only can you look out in front of you, but you look below you, and it's also part of the world too. So it actually
I think
gives
that'd
you
be
the vision.
super cool. I love this idea.
I think it's Pandora. I think it's Flight of Passage, the next level. I think it's Flight of Passage 2.0.
I would agree.
I
If they
think
pull it off like
if they
this.
pull this off right, Disney really needs to step up their game, because like if this is executed to its fullest potential, wow.
So yeah, there is also another coaster here. Just in the what's it called? How to Train Your Dragon section.
Yep.
And it looks like it goes into like the back of the land there.
Yeah.
And that looks cool and like a less intense coaster than the space.
I think
one.
this is a good family-friendly coaster they're gonna have. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
There's also going to be a boat ride, and this boat ride to me seems like it's going to be similar to the one that's in Legoland. And basically, it's really for kids, but you can like squirt water on it or do whatever. It's like an interactive boat ride where you're like on your Viking ship and you're doing stuff. I don't know.
No, yeah.
It's for the kiddos. But there's also this ride that the ride system they have at other parks, but it's basically this giant. It's like a skyfly ride, and basically you're put in this like little thing, and you can spin yourself while it's moving. If that's how it can be described, I can't describe it very well, but basically
it's hard to describe.
Yeah, basically it moves you, and you can almost like a swing. And you can choose to spin yourself around, rotate your car in a circle. And it's obviously going to be Viking themed. I imagine you'll be on a dragon, possibly. And this is good because you can choose whether you want to spin all the way around or you want to spin slightly. So it's really up to you.
I made one of those in Planet Coaster, the game.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
Planet
was like
Coaster.
one of the blueprints. What a good game. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, though. Classic.
Yeah, but and then we can also see from the construction plans that there's going to be like Viking themed like statues and things all over the land. And I think the attractions in this land are really cool. And if the theming is well, it'll be really cool. It's supposed to be like you're at Burke with the dragons and the people. There's also
It also does look like there's a little maze if you look at the site plans there. It looks like there's this like winding area, and it looks like a maze or something like that.
Interesting. I see what you're looking at. Yeah. There's also supposed to be a stage show, which is interesting.
Which should be interesting. I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
There's speculation that it's going to be like the How to Train Your Dragon live show, where it's basically like Living with Dinosaurs live, like that thing.
Okay.
And basically they'll have like, I don't want to say animatronic, but like dragons that they've made in like a stage show, which I think would be really cool.
Like the Phantasmic Dragon.
Yes, Angelo. A+, gold star.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Yes. And so that finishes the How to Train Your Dragon land. There's also a play area. There's a few play areas throughout the land that should be really cool. Kids like to play on places. I think it's interesting because you usually don't see play areas in parks other than like the circus at Magic Kingdom. There's really not many
The
play
new little
areas.
Epcot has a new little playground.
You're right.
The Bugs Life playground was a classic. I used to love that in
There was
Hollywood Studios.
Wasn't there a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground too? That was like...
I think that's the one I mean.
Okay.
I think that's the one I
Okay.
meant. Not It wasn't Bugs Life. It was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah. So that's exciting. And that, my friends, is the Epic Universe.
That is Epic Universe. So overall,
It was epic.
I'm excited. Obviously, I don't know where Pokemon is, but that's another thing entirely. It does look like there's land for expansions in the future. So we'll see what's popular. I think Nintendo Land should be a highlight here, and it'll be kind of the Galaxy's Edge of Epic Universe.
I think, yeah, the Nintendo Land is definitely the draw of this park. I think the other lands, when comparing it to Super Nintendo Land, they don't stack up as well as far as like what the demand is going to be, I think. But I think in terms of a new park, I think there's a lot here. It's definitely got more attractions than like Animal Kingdom, even though attractions aren't really the draw of that park. But this is definitely going to be a unique park in Orlando.
No, yeah, I just love the design of it, to be honest, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
I love the portal idea. Yeah, I love the portals. I think it's really creative. And what I didn't realize, I always thought that the symbol Epic Universe that was a compass. It's a portal, Angelo.
Oh wow,
that's the theme. It's a portal. The entrance, instead of having
amazing
like your typical Universal arch, their arch is a giant portal. Portals.
Hey, it all comes back.
That was the pitch. I think they should just call this land Universal Portal.
Epic portals.
Epic portals.
They should make a portal ride.
I also kind of like Epic Universe, like Universal. Like that's pretty cool. Good name.
Yeah, I think the name's good.
And we'll obviously talk more about this park when news comes out about what it is, more defined, like this is definitely happening. We'll know defined things. But right now, based on how people are speculating, I think this will be a fun park.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I can't wait to see the updates that we get for it. I can't wait till we see the rides and all that cool stuff.
It's gonna be quite epic.
If you do say.
You see what I did there, Universal. Maybe give us a something. So I think this is it. I think that's the end of our podcast.
Yeah, all right, everybody. Thank you for watching our speculation, thoughts, and opinions on Universal's Epic Universe. If you have any thoughts yourself, leave it in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, a subscribe. We'd super appreciate that.
We really would.
If you're watching on podcast services, leave us a review.
Listening on podcast services.
Ton. Yes, that's what I meant. If you're listening on podcast services, we're available everywhere. Apple, Spotify, all that cool stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So that's it, guys. We've done it. We've explored the Epic Universe. We're epically exhausted. But hey, thanks for joining us. As always, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Angelo.
And until next time.
So long, everybody.